What
The following opinion and comment on this show do not reflect the opinions of the staff, management, ownership of FFN Radio Network. The host of the show is not a physician, a therapist, or a counselor. His thoughts are his own and his alone, and not the opinion of FFN Radio Network. Welcome to Unboxed Thoughts with Nicholas Parsons.
what's going on, everybody? We're finally here. Took us about a year, but we're here. Listen, I want to give a huge shout out first and foremost to Blaze Man St. Pierre for allowing me to use this platform to do this show and have some fun, get to know you guys. You guys are going to get to know me. I also want to thank Jerry Souza, who hosts a show on this exact show, radio show as well. He does the Neutral Corner. I'd like to thank him. He was the one who gave me this platform to shoot down the road. So, Unboxed Thoughts, we're going to discuss anything between, mental health. We're going to look at things from other perspectives. We're going to try to get other people to view things from other perspectives or put their shoe, the foot in the other shoe. So, my background basically, I just want everybody to know first and foremost, that's what we're going to use this show to do today. Is it's going to be more of an introduction. You guys are going to get to know me. You're going to learn a little bit about my background, and as time goes on, I want to pick it at other people's brains. I want to learn from other people's points of views and stuff like that, as well as you guys learn from me. So, having said that, I'm 33. I grew up here in Fall River, Mass. Um, Good family, good home. Uh, but somewhere along the line, as we all do, I ended up coming into some struggles, some tragedies at some pretty high points in my life, actually. They came when it seemed like I was doing the best. Um, and these are things that I want people to realize that when you're doing good, it does not mean that you can do something bad or think like it's going to be okay and it's going to cause you to fall back. Because trust me and believe me, it happens. Um, I ended up getting into the mental health stage at a really young age in life. Um, you know, uh, my father in and out of my life. Uh, you know, come and go as he pleases. I had to look at other male role models within my life to look up to and you know learn from them to do the right things in life. Um, my my mother is probably the best person in my life. She probably is my biggest support system. Um, but uh, even though things are mixed up in life, you have to find that balance in between. And I honestly got to say that not a lot of people would agree with this, but I think it was because of my addiction that I got to learn a lot about myself. Um, Sometimes in life, you have to go backwards to go forwards, right? So with me, it took a really hard hit when I had a really good job. I had a really family going on. I had kids. I thought I had the world by its bootstraps. Okay, and my life took a turn for the worst when I got addicted to opiates. And like I said, as tragic of a time in my life that was probably the best part of my life. Especially my last stint, which was dating back to 2016. Um, I'm actually doing a lot better now. I am going on 6 years sober. Um, I don't drink. I don't do nothing. Coffee and a cigarette is my favorite concoction these days. Uh, Coffee and a cigarette, family man, work. That's what I do. But so 2016, I ended up going to rehab. Um, During this time, now mind you, this was actually my second time in rehab, but I want to let you guys know something, okay? The reason why this last part was so excruciating to me was because earlier on in the year, in February, my girlfriend had given birth to our third child. And around that time where I went to rehab, it was the worst part because I lost out on first steps. I lost out on first words. Uh, I lost out Christmases, Thanksgivings, New Year's Eve. There was a lot, and I think for till now, I honestly got to say that having to miss all that, that's what opened my eyes. That moment right there was when I decided the buck stops here. Game's over. I got to do something with myself to better my life. And this is where becoming selfish comes into play. I played the selfish card like it was nobody's business. And let me tell you something, if anybody out there, feel sorry ever for being selfish, don't. You have to be selfish sometimes to focus on yourself in order to better other things in your life. Knowing me, I knew I have 3 kids. Okay. I got one that's going to be turning 13. I am not his biological father, but I have helped raise him since the age of 2.5, along with my other two who are 8 and 6. Um, you know, when things like this happen, a lot of people are so quick to put yourself down, blame yourself for other things. And that's fine. But what you need to do is you're grieving for yourself. Just like when you lose a relative, a friend, something like that, you grieve. When you do something bad and you need to fix it, and you take on that responsibility for yourself, you're going to grieve for yourself. But after the grieving stage is where you need to find that outlet, that motivation to succeed and better yourself, and not only for you, but for everybody else around you. Now, I can't tell you how many bridges I burned straight to the ground, not on just one occasion, but on multiple. And for the last 6 years, when I realized everything, I have devoted myself to making amends with every little nit and cranny that I can. Whether it be from the biggest part of my life, be the mother of my kids, whatever the case is, to a friend or an acquaintance that you see at a local convenience store constantly. It's because I knew that there was one point in time in my life that I was down in the dirt, probably said something, did something that I regretted, maybe people have seen. And that's another thing. You are always being listened to and you're being watched. And at least that is anxiety, I guess you could say it's called. All right, I got this thing where everybody's always listening. Oh, everybody's always watching. So I feel like it's my responsibility to literally apologize to any given person. So having said that, um, going back to when I was just getting out of rehab, the people that I had to have around me was very, very small. I cut out everybody in my life just because I knew that there was a path that I needed to go on. And in order for me to get there, I needed to be around this small circle because growing up in a place like I did, you know, um, people, and it doesn't even just go from me personally, from people that I have met and throughout my life from my childhood, up to now. It seems like mental health or the addiction type is all I've been around. And the phrase, don't forget where you came from. I will never forget where I came from. And that will always keep me humble. You know, when I go to the gym constantly and there's this sign up there that says, leave your ego at the door. For such a small guy, I'm 145 pounds and I've had quite the big, my ego is 3 times my size. You know, uh, there's been checks in my life that, I've been cashing that, can't really cash. You know, um, when you grow up in my type of environment, you guys are going to, you guys, people are going to see things that they wish they never seen. Um, and it's going to carry out with you. It's gonna traumatize you for quite some time. And all you can do is basically turn around and do the best you can. I can't tell you guys how many times I've turned around and said, I'm not going to end up like that. That ain't going to be me. I'm glad I'm seeing it now because this is only going to motivate me in the long run. Well, in my situation, it wasn't quite like that. It started really young for me, whereas I felt like I needed to have that type of behavior to have a relationship with some people in my life, important people in my life. Okay, so that's where it all started. And then it just basically progressed from there. Um, but going back to when I got out of rehab and trying to motivate myself and trying to be better, that small group of people that I was talking about, those 3 people pushed me beyond my limits. All right. I have been doing things the last 6 years I never thought once that I would accomplish. Because I'll tell you all something right now. If there's anybody that's going to admit anything, I'll admit it all. Okay, that's what this show is going to be about. All right, the unboxed thoughts of things that people do not normally think about when they're in a particular type of situation, moment, whatever the case is. But I will admit everything. And I will tell you this. What got me through everything is wanting to see my children, and I had something. I'm not supposed to be here. I know this. And it motivates me every day knowing that I am here and I'm doing it. I've been hitting the gym constantly every day for quite some time now. Boxing, MMA used to be my thing at one point in time. I lost interest in everything. Music was an interest. Um, and now that I feel like it's been a while, I've been focusing on different things. I want to get back into my interests. So now I'll hit the gym. I'll go around. I'll talk to people. Try to make connections on different things, interests, podcasts, music, going to the gym. But what I want to know is, does anybody out there feel like you're not worth it? I seriously and genuinely want to know this. Who out there will admit that you're not worth it? Because I'll tell you something right now. I can tell you, I'm living proof that everybody out there is worth it. Okay? So somebody says here that it depends on the mood that you're in. And I get that. There's days that I can wake up and the depression is real. Especially in my case. Um, I can honestly say I'm a very weird one when it comes to that, because they have a saying that says, don't live in the past. I'm actually one that can say I disagree with that, because I feel like I need to live somewhat in my past to make sure, and the way to keep myself in check, that I don't go back there. So I feel like when I remind myself of certain things or whatever, I need that chill up my back, because that chill up my back is going to be my reminder. Don't do it. I've over the last 6 years, it's almost like I have developed my own system to how I would cope with things. And I will tell you this, I've met quite a few people that, but what the hell, but that I've come to get used to that. I have come down with my own system to get myself on track and remind me of certain places that I don't want to be. And that is okay. A lot of people, you're afraid to live in the past. Don't. It already happened. There's a bunch of different things in life I feel that we are going to carry on our back, no matter what type of guilt that it is. It doesn't matter. As long as you move forward and you can tell yourself that today was better than yesterday, that's perfect. Look, we got some comments coming in. I will stop and I'll actually read a couple of them to you guys. Laurel's asking, do you feel like your past makes you feel stronger? Absolutely. Uh, I can honestly tell you, as tragic as my past has been, and I let me also tell you this. There were situations that probably flipped the light switch to cause issues in my past. But no matter which way I look at it, at the end of the day, I'm the one that acted out on them. So it's my responsibility. Yeah, certain things going on around don't help the issue, but I did have a choice at one point in time, and I didn't choose the right route majority of the time. So, Laurel, to answer your question, my past, and I feel like anybody's past makes you stronger. Um, so we got Farco's World says, sometimes I question if my kids are better off with me out of the picture. Farco, let me tell you this. Straight answer, they're not. Maybe for a certain amount of time, if you feel like you need to do something in order to better your mental stability, financial stability, or something like that, there's nothing wrong with being selfish. I said that earlier on in the show. Remember, I had said that. I said there's nothing wrong with being selfish. If you feel you need to play the selfish card in order just to get yourself mentally straight, or whatever your case may be, because all of our cases are different. We're all different, but there's always a solution to our problems. I'm a firm believer that, and we're not going to get there unless if we make the first jump. There's people out there that can help us, absolutely, but they can only help us. We're the ones that need to put our foot in front of us first and make the first jump. So my thing to you is, if there's something you need to work on, there's plenty of resources out there that can help you get the ball rolling on it. There's counselors out there. Confide in a good friend. A good friend will always be there to help guide you through everything. Mine, I told you before, my people that pushed me forward was a good buddy of mine from middle and high school. Okay. He got me back into the music scene, redirecting my mind to bigger and better things that sparked my interests. Um, I had another friend that I used to work with. We got really close. A lot of you guys will probably, meet her somewhere along the line at some point. She helped drag me out into the outside world, and because I would shelter myself at times. I would really shelter myself, and she got me to open my eyes to like the better world that's out here and what it has to offer. And then I will tell you this: I hold myself accountable for everything I have done and things that most likely weren't my fault, because sometimes I kind of feel like if I would have said this or if I would have done that, would have this situation come about, depending on previous actions. And that's just the type of person that I've come to be. You know, I really try to look at things from different perspectives. I literally dissect every incident in my life. I drive myself bonkers. I cannot tell you guys enough of how I drive myself crazy nowadays. Never mind anybody else. So to all the people out there, work, friends, family members, you're out there, you're watching. You guys are the real heroes for having to deal with my silly ass at the end of the day. Flat. Because I know if I can drive myself nuts, I can just imagine what I do all to you guys. So I thank you all for your patience and your hospitality towards me, because I couldn't do it without you guys. Um, so we have another question here. Uh, Laurel. Yes, Laura, I said before, I'm very proud to hold myself accountable. I feel like that's where everything starts. Let me tell you, the things I have done, a lot of people that have done the same thing would not be openly admitting to the things I've done. Uh, and it's kind of crazy. And I've talked to people, and we get into these deep conversations, and then they're like, "Oh, well, what type of things have you done?" We're talking about, and I would just blurt something out. You know, we can get into all that somewhere else down the road. But they're like, "Wow, you almost said it like you're proud of it." No, I'm not proud of anything. The reason why I'm so open about it is because the second I realized I needed to start talking about these things, getting them off my chest, I didn't care who they were to. I really didn't. Whether if it was somebody that I met through a mutual friend, we didn't really know each other, or a really good friend or a family member, whatever the case is. I've learned to confide in whoever I can, as long as I was getting my issues off my chest. Because it's bad enough, depending, like, everybody's situations are different. But for me, it was like I needed to, um, I became comfortable with wanting to confide in anybody that I could. I hold a lot of guilt, no matter if it was from yesterday, 10 years ago. I give myself, some pretty crazy flashbacks. I really do. Crispy Farco, you're saying I found out life is like a bow and arrow. The further it pulls you back, the further it shoots you forward. And that's exactly right. I mean, I said it earlier before. Sometimes in life, you got to go backwards to go forward, man. And not everybody wants to go backwards. You know, you guys ever heard of the Virgin baby steps? And for you guys out there, I also want you to know that if you got something exciting coming up, or no matter what it is, a concert, a boxing event, a life event, something like that, I want you guys to know. And I have learned to teach myself: do not rush, do not jump too far ahead of the curve. And that's probably one of my biggest struggles today as well, is that I cannot put, as much as I'm excited and I want to and I want to get the ball rolling on things. I had to teach myself to become a baby stepper. Like I really did, and there is one thing that I had to learn a lot of things, but I need to learn how to take things one step at a time. And that is my suggestion to everybody. You want to be excited for something? Be excited about it. Go off, man. Just don't rush it. Let it come to you. You know, if you know something for certain, let it happen. Keep checking in with yourself. Um, how do you eat an elephant? Laurel Finney asking, how do you eat an elephant? I don't know, Laurel. Why don't you tell us? Um, so yeah, take baby steps, guys. Um, another thing that I also want to let you guys know is that um, before I forget, I had a really good friend of mine. Uh, his mom had passed away a couple of weeks ago now, and she was like a second mom to me. And when he had called me to let me know what was going on, uh, you know, it hit home because some of us, we see people, guys, who are struggling. Okay, and it's been a lifelong thing. We see it day in and day out. As much as that person doesn't want help, we have to get them to get help. Um, and these are all things that we will talk about as the show goes on, and we're talking about different things, and the conversations are leading from one to another. But I just want to let you guys know that if anybody out there, somebody who's struggling with some type of mental illness or some type of addiction, just know that 9 out of 10 of them, they do want help. They're just afraid on how everybody's going to react to it. They're afraid of what the outcome is going to be. So I just want to point that out. The next time you guys see somebody, or whatever the case, you know, as long as you let them know that you're going to be there for them, they'll take you up on your advice and let you help them. But don't force it. You can't force it. It's bad enough that they'll go and get help, and they got all these other emotions running through them, and just check in with them. Hey, how you doing? Is everything okay? Everything well? Is there anything I can get for you? You know, um, so what else we got here in the comment section? We got JJ Souza. Your life story is going to become someone's survival. Jerry, I can honestly tell you this, my man. Um, just me being here right now it's an absolute blessing. Uh, you know, for somebody who knows uh, the things I have done, things I've said, I just want to be the example of what can be. That's this is what it really what can be. everything in my life right now, hunky dory and up to par. No, man, it's not. I treat myself like the Patriots. You know what I mean? It's like I did good in all three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. But even if I win a game, you know what I mean? I'm sure that there's 4 to 5 plays within that one game that I messed up, and I can fix during practice that week. It's a real thing. Like I know it's just a saying, that it's it's not just a saying in my book. It's a real thing, man. And I just want everybody to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Don't be afraid to talk. Um, like on the bottom of the screen here, we're showing you guys the National Suicide Prevention hotline number. Um, Guys, use that. All right. If you ever feel like you're in doubt, especially, I don't. This is probably a really good time for this show to start too. You want to know why? Want to know when people get the most depressed? The holidays. It's the holidays. Want to know why? Because people are beating themselves up because they screwed up here, they screwed up there, and now they're spending it alone. Or, you know, maybe there was, a relative out there or a good friend that, you had an argument about. I'll tell you guys, forget about it. Forget about that argument because let me tell you, we all need each other more than what we all think. Do you want to know why? Because we're all different. We're so stubborn to stay in our ways. We don't want to listen to anybody else out there. All right? It's basically our opinion, our thoughts are ours, and that's it. It comes in, maybe parents out there, you tell your kid, oh, because this is my house, this is how it is, and that's the end of it. You need to open and broaden your horizons to what other people's thoughts are or what they have to say. They're not all bad all the time. It's like going to work and you've done things 1,000 times at work. But then another guy comes in. He does the exact same job that you do, but he does it differently. Now, he's going to show you how to do it his way. You don't do his way faster. He does your way. He doesn't do it faster. But the second you guys practice each other's way more and more and more, you're going to be just as fast your way and his way, vice versa with him. It's crazy what can happen if you learn the patience and take the time to open your mind to look at other views. It's not bad. I used to be a habitual know-it-all. Anybody on here right now, we would have had this conversation or any conversation 7 years ago. I'll tell you all right now, you don't got to tell me. Nobody would probably stand me. Maybe a couple people here and there, but it's irrelevant right now. I have learned from people younger than me and older than me to take both points of views, advice, whatever I can soak up from them and run with it. Because it's those people, even if it's not at that moment, if I disagree with it, I've come to the point where I can probably go home, something I said or done, think about it for 5, 10 minutes, or maybe sleep on it. Waking up, feeling like $1,000,000. and I go back to my thought from the night before or the day before. I'm like, hey, that's not really that bad of an idea, and I take off from there. I listen to a bunch of different podcasts, to people like the Mike Tyson podcast. We won't even get me started there because you guys really want to watch a good show. First, come on my show. All right, this may be episode 1, but we're jumping around from place to place. But this is going to be a place where we're going to talk about everything. Come on my show first, but then go on over to Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing. Watch his episode with Sugar Ray Leonard. You want to talk about inspiring? I watch that show all the time and rate. That's probably my number 1 go-to. Let's read some more with the comment section. Yeah, JJ Souza, look up Eric Thomas. Yes, his Limitless video. Go and watch that. Jerry, you showed me that quite some time ago. I remember that when we were coaching baseball together. And dude, I ran with anything and everything that I could for that man. So you know what, JJ Souza, thank you for that. A huge shout out for that because, oh man, we got 15 minutes left, and that's a whole nother conversation. But when I was ever introduced to Eric Thomas, that changed my life. That was the eye opener. That was just like, man. And another thing I want to touch up on another thing too. So I watched a video earlier. It was Patty the Batty. I think it was his latest fight that he had. I guess he had found out that a friend of his had died like 5 hours before his weigh-ins. I swear to God. And after Patty the Batty, he goes out, wins this fight, and he cuts a promo after the fight, the interview process. And he's telling about his friend who had just passed away. And he says something that really stuck with me. A big issue nowadays too is us men. Remember we were talking about the egos before. Us men have such an ego, testosterone running through our bodies. We're supposed to lead the way. We deal with things our own way. Guys, I want you gentlemen to tell your gentlemen friends to tell their gentlemen friends. Leave the macho shit at the door. Leave that at the door. Let your emotions out. All right. It is so easy for us men to keep things bottled up because we want things within our household or our friends to think like everything is okay. And that's all right to a certain extent. That's fine if you don't. But if you're gonna be that way, the next time you hit the shower, let your emotions out. You got a man cave. Go down there and freaking blast some music and let some aggression out, or whatever the case is. Because honestly, it's us, it's our mental stability that, seems to be going down the drain. I'm telling you right now. Us men really need to confide in each other more. Seek the help that we feel like we need. You get a brother, counselor, talk to somebody. You want to go have a drinks at the bar, with a couple of your friends, to try to, let loose, vent, whatever the case is, do it. And another thing that's important for us guys is our me time. Well, when I say guys, I mean everybody, guys and girls. Our me time is plays such an important factor in our life, because if we don't get that me time, it's just stress, 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 anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. And you're going to turn to yourself and be like, I got no goddamn time for this. Or I've got to strike when the iron's hot. The iron is never going to be hot enough as it is right now. So do it now. But we're running on a couple of minutes here. Let's see what we have here in Holly. Holly says, promise me you will always have that hotline on the bottom. Holly, as long as this show is going and I'm running this, I can make a promise that I will always talk to my producers, whatever I can do to make sure that that number stays there, because it's a really bad time of year for these types of topics. And all we can do is really confide in each other, help each other out, really listen to each other. You know how many times you guys probably talk to somebody and they rambling? No, it's because you don't want to listen to it, or your mind's not programmed to listen to this type of stuff. Well, guys, thanks to Blaze Man Perry St. Pierre in this radio show, the time is now. You can come right on here. Join me every Monday from 7 to 8. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We can get it all out in the open. This is the place to be. Whereas if you can't talk about anything to any normal Tom, Dick, and Harry, come here. I love these conversations. All right, you're going to come here on Mondays, 7 to 8, live on Facebook, YouTube, on FFN Radio Network, and you're going to come join me. You're going to join my insanity, and we're going to have a blast. That's what we're going to do. All right? I love the outcome. I love the input on the people that came in today. I can't thank you guys enough. Laurel says, honestly, what does Laurel say? Your honesty and vulnerability are admirable. You know what's admirable? You guys are all admirable. Okay? Every person that's came on the show today commented. You had comments to say. Throughout the years, you guys are all the ones that carried me here. I don't care if it was from talking to me through text, on the phone, you hit me up via social media, any comment or anything you guys have said to me over the years, it's carried me through. And it's going to continue to carry me through. Even the negative stuff that people might have thrown. Hey, you know what? I'm the type of person, throw that negativity this way. Want to know why? Because I've learned to let that shit burn the fuel to my fire. It fuels me. So we got a few minutes left here, guys. I'm gonna cruise on through the comments real quick. So the side draft first. No, thank you guys. You know, you guys are such a blessing. Every single one of you. Um, my words, my actions, it'll never be enough to thank any of you guys. I know this was our first show. There's a lot we can get into here, guys. You know, this ain't the end of the road. We're gonna keep going with this, and I'm going on a ride, guys. So, you guys want to take it with me? Everybody's more welcome to come. All right, Holly Thorpe, I love you guys too. Much love, everybody, for coming on here tonight and joining me. Please, every Monday, okay, right here, live on Facebook and YouTube, FFN Radio Network. Mr. Blazeman St. Pierre, I want to thank again. Jerry Souza, you are the man. You're a godsend. All my friends and family that came on and took the ride. You know, this was the opening ride, guys. This was the opening ride, and it's only going to get better from here. I cannot wait. You know, a lot of good stuff ready to come. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys. We're gonna have some guests on here, you know, as time goes on. I just wanted to shoot from the hip today. Wanted you guys to get a little bit of a vibe from me. I want to get a vibe from you guys. I know we jump from topic to topic sometimes, and I try to go back and you know, retrace my steps. It'll happen from time to time. I'm telling you all that right now. There's a warning I'm going to give you guys. That's one right there. We're going to jump from topic to topic. All right, but rest assured, you guys catch something that I say, and I drift off a little bit, please comment in the comment section. I'll go back, I'll read them, and you know, I'll readdress the comment statement, answer your question, etc., etc. But that's it for now, guys. Love you guys. I can't appreciate it. You guys are great. I love you guys. I just want to go through here. Want to make sure I didn't leave anybody out. It's our first show. We got to impress some people. No, we don't. So Farco, I want to go back real quick before we end this. What I do want to say to you, sir, is, you know, because you say that you just have bad times and push through it, and better times come. That's right. And let me tell you something. As long as you can get through the hard times, dude, you know what I mean? You'll be impressed on how much further you can take things. You know, it just always confide in somebody. You know, there's always somebody out there. There's always a friend, you know, willing to listen. Even if there's a friend that's not ready to listen, make him listen. Because by you making him listen, it's going to make him think like, all right, you know, something's really going on here. You know what I mean? Or, you know, he really got, yeah, absolutely. You know, my best friend right now, you're going to listen. End of story. Okay, but yes, guys. So that is it. This was our first show. Unboxed Thoughts. That's what it's going to be about. Love you guys. Every Monday, 7 to 8. Facebook Live, YouTube, FFN Radio Network. Thanks again to all you guys. I'll see you all next week.